Someone said, lock this bitch ass up and throw her the key. Not Odymel, who tried to pay to silence the girl he assaulted, but apparently a trial is happening at the moment because she's standing up for herself and the girl's abusing the scene. I don't know who's Odymel. Who's that? Who's Odymel? Is that another DJ? Okay, that's another DJ then, right? Odymel. Yeah, you see him here actually. He's already in the news. So you see EDM news. So this is a person called Odymel. So this person's also in trouble. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Look at the mustache though, innit? Like, come on, man. You know what I mean? What did you... As 50 Cent would say,
he did that shit. Guilty as fuck.
He did that shit. Just look at that. Just look at the grill. He fucking did that shit. Whatever he's been accused of, he did that shit. Look at the neck. Look at the grill. Look at the lack of chin. He did that shit. He for sure did that shit. Another one says, I don't know who this person is, says, I'm dealing with my shit like a grown man. Let me know the result of your trial. Send me. Oh, that's the guy. I think that's him, right? I think that might be him. That's this Odymel guy I think he's talking to. That picture looks similar if I'm not mistaken. No? Let's see his Instagram. Did he private it? Yeah, that's his Instagram. That's him. So I guess he's fighting back. Oh, is he? Did he? Yeah, he put. Okay, cool. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, cool. So we got some nice updates to get through then. So this Odymel guy has actually responded. This guy's responded. So let me actually check out his response. What did he say? Actually, let me check out that page first. So this is him DMing this person called Odymel, and he says, "Let me know the result of your trial. Send me so I can exonerate you." He replies back and says, "Yeah, I have no worries about it. As I said, I have crystal clear proof, but you have nothing to do with this. Then come and stop me. I'm not like that, man. Cool, I am. Great for you. Dog, get off my line." Okay, so what is Odymel's response? What's Odymel's response to all of this? I know it's long, but here's the full story. Okay, he's got it in French and English, hopefully, right? Yeah, he's got it. Cool. Dear all, today I've decided to speak out following the accusations, testimonies made against several artists, including myself, who were associated with the management and booking agency Steer. I've been reflecting on the following statements for several months, but my silence until now came from a fear of communicating poorly, of being... Come on, bro. I didn't want to defend myself against the claims of sexual misconduct because I'm afraid I can't speak English. Like, shut up, man. What the fuck is this guy talking about right now? Come on, just get to the point. Get to the point. I've been reflecting on the following statement for several months. My silence until now came from a fear of communicating poorly, of being clumsy, uninformed, and unintentionally hurtful. I also don't feel entirely legitimate speaking publicly about something like this, something that concerns someone else's feelings. However, in light of what's currently unfolding on social media, I've chosen to speak up today, fully aware of the potential consequences. Okay, let's see what he has to say. A person with whom I had an occasional consensual relations, so a person I occasionally fucked, told me about an incident that, according to the explanation, occurred while I was asleep, in a state of somnambulism. What the fuck is? Why is he using that word? What the fuck does that mean? Somnambulism or sleepwalking is a common parasomnia sleep disorder where an individual engages in or walks around during deep. Hold on. He's trying to say he was sleepwalking while he did the madness. Usually within 1 or 2. No. Is that your defense? Hold on, let me reread it. You trying to say he was sleepwalking? No way is he trying to say this. Hold on. A person who had occasionally consensual relations told me about an incident that, according to the explanation, occurred while I was asleep in a state of somnambulism, right, which is sleepwalking, but I have absolutely no memory of it. How convenient is that? How convenient is that? How convenient. Insert Cardi B clip here.
How convenient is that? Wow, how convenient is fucking that?
You get accused of a madness and then you say, oh, I was sleepwalking, so I have no memory. This incident is the only one I've ever been accused of. I found out about what happened several days later when she's told me that what happened. To be honest, it took some time for me to understand, to process, and to accept that I was being told about something that I have no memory of and something completely at odds with the way I've always tried to behave. Once I fully grasped what she was describing, I did my best to be present, to listen. Honestly, you probably should have not made this statement already. To listen, to face the situation with humility, something that was entirely new and frightening to me. Without ever wanting to put myself in front of the pain caused by the story, it deeply shocked me to realize I might have hurt someone or represented a threat while in a state of complete unconsciousness. So he sexually assaulted somebody while he was sleepwalking, and now he's trying to say that. What are you saying here right now, though? You're making it worse. I'm not gonna lie. He's making it worse. He's actually making it worse. Page 3. The facts. I spent some time with this person who I met through mutual friends. So is he trying to lay the groundwork and say, yeah, we fucked consensually, so how could I? One night after another consensual encounter, I fell asleep next to her. According to what she later told me, I began to make involuntary sexual gestures to myself first, before trying to initiate another sexual encounter with her, which was undesired. Which was undesired, you know. Without speaking in her place, she told me during a latter discussion that my state seemed consistent with somnambulism. She described my movements as heavy, my body as trembling, and said I didn't seem like myself. Unfortunately, people in this kind of state are able to follow basic and clear instructions. That's why, according to her, I stopped immediately when she verbally told me to stop. What happened was also been medically described as a consistent with somnambulism episode of a sexual nature commonly called sexsomnia. All my niggas got sexsomnia. All my boys got sexsomnia. What the fuck, man? Yo, these hard dance guys, these hard dance techno people, they are fucking tapped, man. They are fucking tapped. This guy is absolutely off his rocker. I still have no memory whatsoever of it. I can therefore only rely on one version of events to tell you what happened. So I'm confused, right? I'm confused. This guy says he has some sort of like sleep whatever he's got. What's the term for it? The actual term is it's a parasomnia, right? It's a common parasomnia, a sleep disorder. He's got a sleep disorder that makes him want to initiate sex. That's a very handy one. It seems like a very convenient sleep disorder. I'm not gonna lie. Most sleep disorders involve you walking through the street naked, knocking on people's doors randomly, pissing next to a fucking post box. But this version of sleep disorder that he has, it kind of makes you want to engage in sex. It seems very, very convenient. It seems very, very convenient. If it's true that he's got this sleep disorder, why did this story even come out then? Why did this girl share it? If she was okay in the moment and she said, yeah, I understood that it wasn't you weren't acting like yourself, your body was heavy, you stopped as soon as I said no verbally once, and you kind of snapped out of it, why was this story even shared in the first place then? That's what I'm not really understanding. Clearly, the way he's describing it, maybe the girl maybe didn't describe it that same way. You know, there's some sort of inconsistency there, because he's making it seem as if like they were cool at the time and everything was okay, and they kind of, you know, were able to move past that quote unquote misunderstanding. But why was it known to the public then? How did it get out? Obviously she probably didn't feel the same, I'm assuming, no? Anyway, let's continue. Let's see the next page. This is a long one. Page 4. A few weeks after this incident, we had a conversation during which he shared her experience freely. She then asked me to begin psychological therapy to try and understand and make sense of such involuntary actions. I followed that advice both out of respect for her, a request, and out of my own desire to understand and endure that it could never happen again. A report from the psychologist was provided to her after 15 sessions. Yo, some women are too patient, isn't it? Like, you've got a guy that you're not even in a relationship with, you're just hooking up with after raves and stuff. It don't seem like they were exclusive, and you're willing to what, like, go with him when he gets his help to the sleep paralysis. Like, well, just go, man. Like, just go somewhere else, find someone else. Like, goddamn, girl. I also understand that in a situation as sensitive as this, she needed an official, neutral framework to clarify things, a clear, independent response to help her find meaning and peace. That's why I've been fully cooperating with the ongoing preliminary investigation in the hope that it will bring clarity and some degree of relief to the person affected. You're under investigation at the moment. Crazy. At this stage, a preliminary investigation is therefore underway. 2 confrontation hearings have taken place. No judicial decisions have yet been made, nor have there been a trial. Preliminary investigation has been closed. So what, is he under criminal investigation for this? This guy is so confusing. So did this girl press charges? Is that what they're trying to say? God damn. However, as part of this investigation, the complaint also requested a medical examination, sleep medicine. Although I am not required to undergo this examination, I wanted to respond favorably to the request, again in the view of reassuring and appeasing her, but also with the aim of preventing this from happening to anyone else. Following an initial appointment, the report was written, attesting to the plausibility of such situations, taking into account my history of sleepwalking, sleep disorders, and with my profession. My sleep disorder makes me want to fuck is crazy. I fully understand how difficult it is to believe in my account. It definitely is very difficult. I'm not gonna lie. Odymel, it's near on impossible to believe what you're saying right now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, brother. You sound mad guilty right now. I'm not gonna fucking lie. I fully understand how difficult it is to believe in my account for such a serious act. I understand that blaming sleepwalking may seem like an easy way out. You think? As I've confided to my loved ones, I myself would have been very skeptical of such an explanation. It is precisely for this reason that I've chosen to participate in multiple expert examinations, requested by the complaint, in order to cooperate fully with the justice system. So, the fact that the odds could be established independently and objectively. I'm well aware that the total absence of my memory does not change the significance of what had reported. I also would like to state that the episode does not reflect the person I strive to be, nor the one I always behaved, or the way I always behaved, right? Well, you say you do it all the time, so, you know, you can't really use that excuse. For the reason I chose transparency, I sharing with you only the concrete factual elements I have to everyone. I have to say that everyone, whatever, let's move on. 7, beyond medical consideration, I'm deeply aware of the traumatic impact of the night, and I'm truly sorry. Facing someone who is not in full control of themselves doesn't lessen what this person experienced. I can't undo the harm that was caused. What I can do is act with coherence and responsibility moving forward. I also want to make clear that my situation is distinct from those mentioned in the recent days concerning other artists from my former agency. I fully disassociate myself from the problematic and repetitive behaviors that have been consciously committed and denounced in the recent days. I reaffirm my commitment to never condone, encourage, or profit from the culture that is permissive of sexual violence. I also, I only hope that no one will assume that this behavior reflects who I truly am. Too late, brother. It's too late. It's too late, man. You can't say, oh, I'm not like those guys, when you're allegedly out here sleepwalking, trying to fuck people that don't want to fuck you and shit. What's I say? Like, the birds of the flock together, 2 peas in a pod. You are who you hang out with, yeah? So unfortunately, you don't have that luxury of doing that, my friend. You're gonna be viewed under the same lens that they're being viewed under. Last page. Now that I've been able to express myself, I share with you the information I have. I feel the need to take a little time away with my loved ones. Classic. Music remains will be my passion. I'll continue to pursue it with the same sincerity, and I hope to continue sharing with those who are interested in listening and dancing to it. Okay, cool. So that's one account. Actually, what are the comments saying? Do the comments believe him? Gonna go rob a bank in my sleep. Any other sleepwalkers want to join me? Is hilarious. How are people supporting this? So you wrote this, read this, and then decided to post this. Antoine is one of the good ones. We believe you. We love you. We support you always. Let me translate this. What's this say? I don't understand how people can stand for this. You say you chose transparency, but it only became a need once the steer issue resurfaced. That's true, by the way. You didn't bring us to light before this whole issue. That makes it seem like you're only speaking on a driven situation rather than the principle. Sexsomnia, really? Sexsomnia, yeah, exactly. All my niggas got sexsomnia. Mucho texo amigo. Even I know what that means. Mucho texo amigo. Under 1% of reported sexual abuse led to conviction. This does not mean they did not happen. It means that the justice system makes prosecuting abuse extremely. What the fuck is this guy talking about? Oi, are you gonna play at the pitch or not? Just doubting, but it was all this is true. You were in good communication and comprehension terms. Why the victim still moving forward with the prosecution in court though? Yeah, I'd like to know, actually. I'd like to know that, because it sounded like him and the victim, I guess can you be a victim if nothing happened? I guess you can, right? But him and the victim, there's some sort of understanding. She kind of told him to stop at the moment. She basically, pushed him to get help. He got the help. So why is it going to court? I'm curious. I'm curious to find that out. Yeah, that's the sus as fuck. His own story don't exactly. So basically, he might be lying then, isn't it? His account of it might not be true. He's making it seem like him and the girl were cool. She understood. She actually was the one that encouraged him to go get help. Someone saying, I know you're some hairy man behind the profile, but still, I'd like to explain the most common women don't win all the cases. So, and no one's explaining it, right? No one's explaining it. Cool. No one's explaining it. Saying that you essayed, saying you did essay while asleep is crazy work for real. Try to make better excuse next time. I did do it while sleeping. Oh, sleepwalking. Questions of diagnosis and legal responsibility belong in court. What I can speak about is your public framing and how it stands. When you center your explanation on a medical condition and alter the consciousness, and altered consciousness, sorry, the focus shifts from your internal state to your symptoms, your lack of awareness, and your loss of control. That framing invites empathy towards you, which is true, by the way. There's a lot of like him in there in that story, in that fucking statement. What it does not center is the experience of the person who had no agency in what happened. Even if the conditions exist, impact remains. From the outside, this reads like less an accountability and more like a narrative positioning. It prioritizes why it may not have been intentional over what it meant for the other person. Sorry, in the culture where sexualized violence is usually frequently minimalized, that shift matters. Explanations built around loss of control risk to reinforce a logic in which harm becomes secondary to context. You may intend transparency, but transparency that foregrounds your condition while backgrounding impact will not feel neutral to survivors. Bars. But transparency that foregrounds your condition while backgrounding the impact will not feel neutral to survivors. Fucking hell. It will feel destabilizing. That is why this statement does not feel reassuring, since you were also thinking about how to get the story straight for months. It feels insufficient. Yeah, fucking bars. That person spat. Big up you. Who was that actually? Who was that? Big up was that Satsy Free? Big up Satsy Free. You actually tore that one to pieces there.